Before we begin, the winners of the Emblem giveaway from the last video are on screen now. I cannot say the name at the top, but you have won. Favorite build is Mask of Fealty. I love throwing shurikens at everything and seeing things explode. Icon, my favorite build is Moirai because I like balls. Awesome. Eat, Sleep, Swim, Rhymecoat Prismatic Warlock has got me by the throat. In content I am underleveled for. Cannot get enough of it in any content I need to play through at a slower than speedrun pace. All three of you, I'm going to be contacting you, and the best way to get in touch with me is through my Discord. So, on to the video. Hello, Papuki here, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 Hunter build video. Before Edge of Fate released, I made a video saying that Tempest Strike and Assassin's Cowl was going to be the best Hunter build in the entire game. Well, when Edge of Fate released, the patch note that said Tempest Strike would work with Combination Blow completely didn't do that. So Tempest Strike did not work with Combination Blow, and I thought, as many other people did, that we were being too hopeful, and why would we ever get something good on Hunter, am I right? Well, as of this Tuesday, it works. They fixed it. They made Tempest Strike both regenerate your dodge on kill and give you a Combination Blow stack on kill, and it is buffed by Combination Blow. This is awesome. If you didn't know, Grapple Hunter also got nerfed, and I'm actually happy about that. Yay! Anyways, a 3x Combination Blow Tempest Strike with 1-2 punch deals around the same damage as a Grapple does, with like all the buffs beforehand. So that's awesome that we still have a high damage ability, and this is Hunter's version of a Slide Lock or a Consecration Titan. Now, what is the actual build? We are going to be running 200 melee. I am achieving this through 160 and 2 fonts. We are then going to be running 70 grenades, so we get our flashbang back, more on that later. 70 super, so we are not abandoning it. 100 class, but I'm running 80 in a class mod, and that is your stats. If you can hit 200, 70, 70, 100 without fonts, then do so, but that is a very hard level of stats to achieve. I am then running a heavy ammo finder and a hands-on mod, 2 fonts, 1 heavy-handed, so when we do Tempest Strike, we get an orb on kill, melee damage resist and 2 resist depending on the activity, 1 recuperation mod, a scavenger and a stacks on stacks, powerful attraction, time dilation, and class font. With this setup, with a single melee and a dodge, we are going to get over like 45 seconds of fonts active on every kill, so we pretty much have these fonts active at all times. For our weapons, we are using a 1-2 punch hand cannon and a mint retrograde to deal with anti-barrier champions. Now, onto the subclass. We are using Arc Staff because Gathering Storm sucks and Storm's Edge isn't real. We have Gambler's Dodge so we can get our melee back, and then we have Combination Blow. If you do not know what Combination Blow does, it stacks up on every single melee kill, going up from 1 to 2 to 3, ending up in a 400% melee damage increase. Hoo boy, that's a lot. We are then running flashbang grenades. These are huge. These will stun unstopped champions, and with Spark of Shock, they will also stun overload champions. So in 1 grenade, we have 2 champ stuns. Now we have Tempest Strike. When you slide in melee, it's going to send out a wave. This wave is going to deal a ton of damage. It is going to jolt enemies, and it's going to proc Bolt Charge and make Bolt Charge when you kill a jolted enemy. We then have Flow State, which I'll get to in a second here, is used for when we have Amplified, we are going to get massively increased class ability regeneration. Then we are using Spark of Resistance for a 25% DR that lingers and a plus 10 melee stat. We are then running Spark of Frequency for double all bolt charge sources. We are then running Spark of Shock to make our flashbang stun overloads. And we have Spark of Amplitude, so every multi-kill we get while amplified is going to generate us an orb. Now, Flow State, what's going on here? Sometimes when you get a Tempest Strike kill, we do not know particularly why. It could be Jolt proc, it could be Bolt Charge, or whatever, right? But sometimes Tempest Strike will not give you back your dodge. So Flow State and 100 class is here as a stopgap to make sure that if it doesn't proc our dodge, we still can keep the loop going with Combination Blow ×3 just fine. It's just going to add a little bit of delay to your gameplay, but you can't not run it. A lot of YouTubers are probably going to say run Ascension, but Ascension is awful. It is the worst aspect on Arc, almost tied with Lethal Current. because you get amplified through getting any jolted enemy killed. So why even use Ascension if it's just going to throw you up in the air, make you less efficient, and not give you your dodge back. So yeah, do not run Ascension. Lethal Current does not work on Tempest Strike, and that is it. I am going to be showing this build off in the classic Hydroponics Delta, but this time it is going to be a -30 with double champs. So, on to the gameplay. Alright, and here we are in Hydroponics. How wonderful. So we got 2 stacks of combination blow right there. I'm gonna go here, boom, and we have our dodge back. Gonna go like this, go backwards. See, we did not get our dodge back because it is currently a little bugged, but because of flow state, you can see that we got our dodge back in relative quick time. If you're running something like Ascension, we would not be able to get our dodge back there. I will say, if there's not a wave of enemies to kill, or just multiple in a row, just use combination blow like usual to try to make sure that you get your dodge back and keep the build going. And you can see that it does a lot of damage to champion. A -30 anti-barrier gets half health. Here we have an unstop coming up. I am simply going to throw my unstop grenade. I'm going to camp out a bit here, using Assassin's Cowl to keep me safe. Stun him, kill a bunch of enemies, and kill the guy. And we are on our way. Now here is a classic elite, and boop, he is dead. We get our dodge back. How wonderful is that? Basically killed that champion in 1 ability usage, which is about the same as a Grapple Punch Hunter would do, which, by the way, Grapple Punch Hunter is now nerfed as of this Tuesday. So yeah, I hated that build and I'm glad to see it go. That 2 whole elites and a whole wave of enemies just absolutely devoured. For these guys, I am just going to melee them because for some reason, Scions like to bug out the dodge more than most enemies, so I'm just not going to deal with that. I did not mean to slide melee there, but you saw what I was talking about. But hey, we have flow state, so we're going to get our dodge back just right quick, in enough time to where combination blow does not go away. Now, I am a prime example of a hater of combination blow, but Tempest Strike combination blow feels entirely different. Like, it's actually fun to use, which is kind of ridiculous, you know? Yeah, so just don't try to kill single enemies that are alone with Tempest Strike, because that seems to get the jolt kill more than not. So do be wary about that. Now these guys are a bit of a problem. I usually do not use supers in videos, but these guys are evil. Also, fun fact, the pop slam of Arc Staff does stun unstopped champions. That is a top fun fact of the day. I'm going to get our combination blow stacks up here so I can deal with this champion. We throw our grenade for unstop. 1-2 punch, slide melee, he is dead. It also hit the boss, which is fantastic. Boom, a whole wave of enemies go bye-bye. How about this wave? Bam! And it hits the boss. We're looking real good. That guy behind him, get our dodge back. More enemies are spawning in. Boom, that was a good wave. To say, compared to Grapple Hunter, this is a lot easier to use. I am trying intentionally not to use my super because I think it defeats the purpose of showing a build if you're just gonna pop super. And that is that. I'm not going to open the chest because it's going to fill my postmaster, but that is it. That is the build. It is really fantastic. Minus 30 loss vectors are crazy. I've tried a bunch of builds on them like Solar Hunter and they just do not clear. So I am very happy that this build that I predicted would be great is great. Now that Grapple Hunter is nerfed, I am proud to say I believe this is the best Hunter build in the game. You get champ stuns, you get 2 of them, which are very easy. You get high ability damage for champs to just basically one-shot them, get them to finisher range, right? Like, I was using a 1-2 punch hand cannon. If I was using Bastion or I was using an actual 1-2 punch shotgun, bah, those guys are gonna be more than dead from that Tempest strike. It would be insane. But I like consistency, so I'm using that. You can also use the Trials hand cannon, which I have, but I need anti-barrier and Mint Retrograde is my baby. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and yeah, Hunters keep winning. Hey, well, welcome to the cool kid zone again. I'm sorry I shoved you back here one more time, but let's get this done. Thank you for being a member, Davey, Maya, Erwin, Frogcat Dog, Zephyr, Strong, Tall, Handsome, Muscular, Raw, Dominant Man, Static Gray, Kikiri, Chi-Chi-Kun, Rimu, Asp, Demetro, Joy-Con, Pukang Kang, Tanner White, Louisa, Mark, Second Minx, Equitas, Riley, Chalk, Lewis, The Zesty Lime, Knight, Kyrain, and Vinny. Thank you for being members.